Right guys, this is going to solo master Lost Sector on the Concealed Void. As of today, if you complete this solo, you have a chance of getting a helmet, which if you don't have Dawn Chorus yet, you have a good chance of getting it if you do this. So, as for this, as you saw, the champions are Overload and Anti-Barrier. It's a small Lost Sector, but it can take a lot of time if you're underpowered. Right now, obviously enemies are swords for me, so I'm around 1264, 1265 in power. The activity is 1280, but you can still easily do it if you play it slow enough. Obviously you want ranged weapons, you don't want to be using swords. Once you get past 1270, you can come in here and use swords and stuff safely, and you'll be okay. I probably could use sword now, but it's more of a riskier strat. This is going to also be platinum, so we're killing all the champions. I don't know whether getting platinum increases your chances of getting exotics or not, as of yet. There'll be people out there that know, but this is going to be platinum rank anyways. Okay? You can't really run past the champions. You can, few, but we're just going to kill all the champions regardless. So I showed the modifiers just before there. There's two modifiers that are deadly. There's incoming arc and aerial damage is increased for the enemy, and solar damage dealt by us and enemies is plus 50%. So we can take advantage of this solar burn. Hence why we've got Xenophage on, which is a good long-range solar weapon. We've got Dawnblade on bottom tree for Phoenix Dive, so if we're around the corner we can jump up in the air, hold our class ability button to get health regen, and that's on a cooldown for 1 to 2 seconds. We can use this. So even if we don't have a Helm Rift, we're safe-ish. Now, I probably would have been better using Well Radiance, but obviously I want to use the new exotic Dawn Chorus, which synergizes well with bottom tree over top tree. Because bottom tree lasts longer, the super tracks enemies. There's a lot to it, so that's why we're using that. Also, we can kill champions with this super. Okay. So right now, we killed the first champion with Scout alone, really. Then we're going to come to this corner here to get a better angle. By doing what I just done there, it separated the heavy shank and the anti-barrier, because the anti-barrier, of course, is shielding enemies, right? Now we're not on well to bypass that. So if we move past, obviously you've got to be careful because we're jumping past the enemies and we get increased damage from them like that. But if we do that, it separates things. Okay, means we can safely take out the heavy shank. We can safely take out the anti-barrier. You know, the anti-barrier is the last enemy alive, which is easier to deal with than the overloads. But what you'll find with these anti-barriers is if they go to the arc pool, like right now, they won't put their shield up. They're like kind of not going to do that mechanic. It's weird, but when they go in the air like that, instantly they'll do a shield. It's kind of weird how they react, but we're going to use a bit of ammo here and there. We'll get a finisher kill, get some ammo. We've got Machine Gun Scavenger on our boots. This helps out tremendously. If we had Spores of War on, this would have been even a little bit easier, which in hindsight I would have been better off with that. But overall, I'm not too fussed. These runs are going to be slow anyways when you're underpowered. When people start getting above 1270, then you're good to go. Now, in this particular room, we're going to have at least 3 to 4 champions to deal with. This first overload, we can take him with Scout only. But we're going to use a bit of Xeno to kill him there. We didn't get a cell, which I was hoping on. If we got a cell there, we would have shot the cell down. That would have cleared out a lot of the ads in this particular room, around this first side. But that didn't end up working out, but that's fine. We're going to take things slow and get any shanks we can with our Scout and whatnot. We have a super as well, which we can use on the anti-barrier, but if you're going to do that, get a stun, then use it, because you have more time to kill a champ on that stun. And the way Dawn Chorus works is each successive hit you get with your super, it increases the damage tenfold. It keeps going up and up and up. Right now we're going to deal with the champion from a distance. The champion is easier to deal with from a distance because the servitor is less likely to teleport. Once we jump closer to the servitor, the AI of that servitor changes and is therefore likely to teleport. And if it teleports at a critical phase and you cannot get that shield break, then you're going to waste ammo, whatnot. Now we're weak here, so we're going to do a Phoenix Dive. These two dregs you want to kill, because they'll spam you with arc nades and whatnot. because that's just how they work when you take cover. Taking those two out makes the platform below a little easier. If the cell had done its job, it would have took them out, but for whatever reason, the cell doesn't seem to kill enemies that's higher than it. If the cell drops in the arc pool, you take it out, it doesn't seem to do much. But if the cell's on the platform of the yards, it'll take them all out. Kind of weird, but just how they kind of work. So right now, we're gonna hope for ammo drops and just take the yards out slowly with our pulse and our scout, interchanging between the two. As for match game shields, there's only solar and void. So there's the 2 solar heavy shanks, and then there's a bunch of void servitors. That's why I've got a void pulsar. Obviously our super solar, our heavy solar. So we need something on for void. You must have it. If not, we're going to struggle. But if you have plenty of Xenophage ammo, you can bypass match game shields. I can 2 to 3 shot a shield even at my power level, like an unmatched shield. So that's really good that way. This is the next heavy shank. To save ammo, we'll just get 1. We get our charge of light, so we get a 20% damage buff. 2 take out the heavy shank with. We're going to scout them down. The key with your scouts, if you have a Nightwatch, is having explosive payload on it. Explosive payload is a flat damage buff. You don't need something like Rampage, because Rampage is stacked off getting hard kills. Explosive payload does not require anything, it's just a flat buff. So when you're just putting damage into a target like an Overload Champ, this is always the best choice. This scout I have is Rapid Hit Explosive Payload, which is the best load you can get for killing champs with. Okay? So what we're going to do with this champ is, this champ's awkward, so we're going to put a nade in first, and put decent amount of damage in, and then what we're going to do here is peek shoot. We're weak, I'm aware of it. I probably should have done a Helm first, but if you peek shoot like that, put a couple of shots in here and there, what you'll see is that you can stop the champ from regenerating health. Then we put a nade in, get the stuns, get a finisher, and that's it dealt with. We have no heavy, but that's fine because we don't really need so much heavy at this point. We are hoping we get some bricks though, for obviously the final boss. So this part can be tricky depending on how you deal with it. There is a place inside this room where you can stand where these melee fallen cannot get you. The thing is, when you stand up there, the AI of that enemy is to then hide. So if you stand here, you can get some shots in, then just Phoenix dive down here if you're weak, and just keep putting shots into them that way. We're just waiting on. I mean, if 2 of them catch you at once, that's a kill. Right now, like we'll die to that at this light. So you can afford to take 1 melee off them, and they have quite a melee range, so you gotta be careful. With Chaff being on, can be deadly for that. But Chaff is one of the easiest master modifiers that there is. Generally, how the master modifiers will work, and especially before this DLC, was you would have attrition, togetherness, famine, Chaff. They were the 4, and they went on a rotation. I don't know how it's working now. I'm assuming that's going to change a little bit. I haven't seen togetherness up. Might be still in the game, not 100%. But as of today, like I say, it's Chaff. So with this part, you're going to have solar shanks that spawn in 2 different waves. The first wave will just spawn as you come to this area, but the second wave will not spawn until you go to the next platform. So eventually we're going to go over there. Just be careful because of the incoming aerial damage. Try not to jump too much. Like right now, I'm not jumping too much. As you see, I get 1 shot because I didn't jump, but I was technically in the air as I stepped off the ledge. So what we've done with that is just Phoenix dive off that ledge, and you're less likely to die at that point. These solar shanks are deadly as well. You might explode one that's close to you and can wipe you because of the 50%, and we're under leveled. Combine that 2 together, you'll get 1 shot. Now, obviously Chaff is on. So I'm aware that all the solar shanks are down, but not. I left that def in there because there's literally nothing. There's literally not one thing I could have done about that. I'm not too mad about it. I'm not really fussed. But that can happen. So just be wary. maybe scope the area out, come back a little bit, keep doing that. I mean, that chunk just appeared from nowhere, so it's just we'll take that one. But this bit can be tricky because the anti-barrier champion will shield the overload, so you want to take out the anti-barrier champion first, you know, and don't be frightened to use your heavy. You will get heavy ammo drops at the boss fight because of machine gun ammo finder. They do work, put them on. Make sure you match your ammo finders to what you're using. We're going to get an overload stun here, and we just want to take this champion out as quickly as possible. Getting him finisher state. If I had Spores of War on there, I would get more heavy. So, and that would always be nice. I don't really need Surgery to thermal overload. It's just what I was end up running, right? The Spores of War would be more valuable in this instance. So with the boss fight, there's not a lot to the boss fight. We've got 9 resis, but those resis we're gonna lose all those resis when we get to the 15-minute mark, which for me this is gonna take longer than 15 minutes. So we're looking just to not die at all from here on out. So the boss fight will not spawn in until all the 4 melee fallen are killed. Once that happens, you back up to this area. This is your safe area. This is where you do a lot of your fighting. The way the boss works, see, what's interesting to me is the standard Lost Sector edition you don't care about. You're overpowered, you just come in here, you do it, kill the boss, you're done. But what's interesting is when you're under leveled, you learn the mechanics of the boss and what he does. So this boss will push depending on what adds are up. So if there's no servitors, if there's no adds, the boss will actually push right up into your face, into this area, and can kill you, 2-shot you instant. Now we used a super there because we're going to get another super. Yeah? As you see, he burns for a lot longer. Also, each super attack that we were doing was stacking because of the Dawn Chorus helmet. You do a lot of damage. Like if we were at power, this super would nearly almost kill this boss. Okay? Like a master boss. So it is very powerful. Obviously Nova Bomb's an amazing choice as well. Always. But like I said, I just wanted to use this just because of the 50% solar damage. Now we've got a cell here, so we're going to try and break that cell just to get any enemies that we can. And what we're wanting to do is back up. Every time all adds are killed, you back up to this area because the boss can, like I said, push you, meaning that you're going to get a 2-shot, like you're going to get 2-shot killed at that point. Even behind that corner where I hide, he can come round there and then just blast you down. And obviously, the weapon that he has is solar, so it's going to be extremely deadly. We've got solar damage resistance on and concussive dampener. They don't really help that much. I would probably advise just running double concussive dampener. There is an arc pill behind us as well. But every time we're going to do this sort of engagement where we're trying to take out the servitor, because the servitor shields all the adds, we want to do a healing. If you haven't got a healing, wait for it. The higher your recovery stat, the higher your healing rift stat. So that's why we're really using the highest recovery and highest discipline. Now the boss has pushed up, so we're going to do a solar nade here. We haven't got much heavy. You want to save a little bit of heavy just for any times you want to melt a servitor down. The boss is backed up. We're going to scope out the area. There is a couple of adds alive, and then there's the next servitor spawning. So that's why the boss backed up there. The boss will back up when the servitor spawns in. Servitor will spawn in with a couple of dregs and vandals, and then at the end of the fight you'll start getting melee fall and chunks. I'm not 100% on the ad spawns, but there's like 2 to 3 servitors. I reckon it's a servitor for every third of the boss yourself, something like that. But what's interesting is when the boss is killed, you still need to kill the remaining spawns of ads, so you don't have much benefit of melting the boss down. So this isn't really a DPS race. This is more about do damage when you need, survive. That's it. Obviously, when you get to 1280, 1270, you could go in there, pop a well, use the Lament Sword because of the 50% damage buff, and just melt the boss down in one phase. Okay? And then you could clear all your ads in your well, probably get a well back from Phoenix Protocol, and then, you know, go from there. But as I said, it changes things when you're underpowered. So now at 15 minutes we lose our reses, all of that. And at this point we're just playing it safe. Just making sure that when we push we're okay to do so. So there's no adds alive, so the boss is more likely to push us, like I was saying. Right now we're close to a super, so we're going to end up using that. Another wave of adds. We'll be served it again. All about the picture, and like I said, there's two modifiers, there's the arc and the solar, and all the Fallen are doing, you know, arc, and the boss is doing solar. The only thing that's not so deadly is the servitors. The thing with the servitors though is when you break their shield, they are likely to teleport behind cover, so that's just the thing. So here's the thing here, I don't have Healing Rift. Jump up in the air. The higher you are, the more health regen you get, but just even hopping, just doing that small hop is a big deal. And getting that health regen. At this point you just want to keep doing it. Sometimes you'll get a Fallen throw a arc grenade at you, which can one shot if you're below half health and a arc grenade hits you, you want to back up. Because obviously that's what's going to happen because we're hiding behind here. Now we've got the servitor, we're going to back up every time just in case the boss pushes. Obviously we've got no resis, so we're going to orbit if that happens. So right here we do a super. As I said, the boss pushes, and then we're going to use the Dawn Chorus. As you can see, the damage is stacking, it's going higher and higher, and we get a killer. The boss is done, dealt with all that. Now we just have to deal with all the rest of the ad spawns. Okay. What was a little bit difficult here is that we had no void. We had not much pulse rifle ammo, which there's still a server to kill. And also there's heavy that's dropped in there, but we're not really safe to get it just yet. So we're just gonna take out what adds we can. I think there's a white brick that's in front of us that we end up getting. There's a melee knight there as well that was hiding. So this will be the last ad spawn if you like. We can get a good couple amount of ads there off spawn, but always pay attention to your health. At this point we're wanting to look to get that white brick. It's important. Like I say, match game's on, so got our primary now, we're good to go. Generally, if you get a shield break, the servitor will stop shielding the ads. Like I said, if I went well, I could have popped a well, and I could clear the ads, because even though they're immune, they're not immune when you're in a well. I'm assuming that's the same, and Bungie haven't touched that at all. I'm assuming so. So at this point, we're just looking to clear this final servitor. Got our heavy now. I end up just using Xeno, as you can see, 2 shots. Took down a void shield there. So that was a solo on that, in order to get exotic helmets for the Warlock. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.